like and subscribe. Follow Alifah Jaya Production. Thank you.
Chapter 7. Blood Sprays. The cold night air still clung to the forest on the way to the Crimson Gorge Mountains when Zhao Feng, the golden-robed young man, stepped back with a sneer after dropping his threat. "The clan competition ain't no place for nameless drifters like you," he said coldly, his body refinement realm layer 8 aura thickening the air before he vanished into the shadows, leaving an echo of mocking laughter bouncing off the trees. Ashen stood tall, his shoulder bleeding from the earlier fight, but his eyes blazed with burning resolve. Shen Rao gave a slight nod, guiding Ashen, Lily, and Xiaoyu toward the glowing golden teleportation formation that flared up again, whisking them in an instant to the mist-shrouded mountain peak at dawn. Sunlight began piercing the cliff gaps, illuminating the majestic ancient formation temple perched on the edge of the abyss. The ancient runes on the temple walls pulsed like a living heartbeat, radiating a primal aura that resonated with the Crimson Forge in Ashen Vale's Dantian. In the main hall, Ashen stood before an ancient alchemy furnace, clutching a worn scroll, the supernatural guidebook handed to him by Shen Rao, keeper of the temple's legacy. Crimson light glowed in his eyes, reflecting unshakable determination even as Zhao Feng's words from the Zhao clan echoed in his mind. "The clan competition ain't no place for nameless drifters like you." Lily and Xiaoyu sat in the corner of the hall, practicing crimson gaze with fierce focus. Lily's face, scrunched in concentration, started catching flickers of spiritual energy, while Xiaoyu, still weak from her wounds, showed grit that made Ashen smile with pride. But his thoughts couldn't shake Zhao Feng, the Layer 8 cultivator whose aura crushed like a mountain, or the Vex Consortium's looming threat at the clan competition, now just 10 days away. "Yan Mei, what do I do with this scroll?" Ashen asked in his mind, his consciousness touching the Crimson Forge. "Shen Rao says it's the key to the primordial formation, but these runes are like a living puzzle." Yan Mei's voice, soft yet commanding like a controlled flame, echoed in his head. "That scroll holds the secrets of the primordial formation your mother, Lin Mei, discovered. The Strength Talisman is the first step, a talisman that amps up physical attacks by fusing Crimson Forge fire energy into sealing runes. Focus on the rune pattern on page 3, and channel your essence through the cauldron. You gotta forge this talisman before the clan competition." Ashen unrolled the scroll, his eyes tracing the crimson runes twisting like tiny fire dragons. Each symbol felt alive, vibrating with ancient energy that made the Crimson Forge roar with excitement. He closed his eyes, diving into the cauldron's inner world, where a sea of flames blazed around a massive furnace. Yan Mei appeared as a shadowy woman in red robes, her eyes glowing like embers, guiding Ashen's hands to shape runes in the air. "Picture your meridians as rivers," Yan Mei said, her voice like a desert wind carrying heat. "Flow the energy into the rune, like pouring lava into a mold. One slip up, and the formational blow." Ashen nodded, sweat soaking his brow as he channeled energy from his newly expanded meridians. The scroll's runes began glowing in his hands, forming complex patterns that danced like flames. He pulled a mid-grade spirit stone from his spatial ring, treasure from the Lin clan's secret vault, and tossed it into the alchemy furnace before him. The crimson forge trembled, absorbing the stone's energy, then funneling it into a talisman paper made from fire lotus spirit beast hide, another rare material from the vault. The process was brutal. His spiritual energy churned like a storm, and every rune he carved felt like taming a wild dragon. Pain stabbed his meridians, but memories of Seraphina's betrayal, Marcus Vex's mockery, and Zhao Feng's threat pushed him forward. After hours, a small talisman etched with crimson runes took shape, radiating an aura that made the hall's air crackle. His first strength talisman was complete, capable of tripling the power of a physical strike. Not bad, Shen Rao said, emerging from the hall's shadows, his eyes gleaming with approval. You've mastered the basics of the primordial formation. This talisman'll give you an edge in the clan competition's duel stage, but you need more for the talisman trial. The Vex Consortium and Zhao clan ain't playin' around. Ashen gripped the talisman, feeling its heat like embers in his palm. How many talismans can I forge before the tournament? He asked, his voice thick with resolve. With your resources and Yan Mei's guidance, maybe 5 or 6, Shen Rao replied. But watch out, the Vex Consortium sent more scouts into the mountains. They know you're here, and Marcus Vex won't let you reach Crimson Gorge City without a fight. Before Ashen could respond, Lily shouted from the hall's corner. Brother, look. She raised her hand, and tiny sparks of spiritual energy flickered, results of her crimson gaze practice. Xiao Yu, beside her, showed progress too, her eyes glowing faintly as she sensed the temple's energy flow. Ashen grinned, his heart warming. You too are Amazon, he said, ruffling Lily's hair. Keep at it. We're gonna need every bit of strength for the clan competition. But the calm shattered as night cloaked the temple. A rumble shook the air, followed by a spiritual energy explosion that rattled the ancient stone walls. Shen Rao whipped around, his brow furrowed with tension. The Vex Consortium's not given us a break, he said grimly. They've sent a new squad, at least 5 cultivators, led by a Layer 7 body refinement realm enforcer, to hunt Ashen and make sure he never reaches the clan competition. Ashen stood, slipping the strength talisman into his robe. Lily, Xiao Yu, hide in the temple's lower chamber, he ordered firmly. Shen Rao, help me hold em off. Shen Rao nodded, snapping his fingers to activate the temple's protective formation. Runes on the walls flared, forming a shimmering golden shield. Focus on their leader, he said. Use the strength talisman and fire sealing formation. I'll handle the rest. Outside the temple, 5 black-robed figures stood on the cliff, their auras weaving a suffocating dark mist. Their leader, a silver-haired woman with eyes like blades, gripped a long sword glowing with green energy. Ashen Veil. She shouted, her voice sharp as a winter wind. The Vex Consortium wants your cauldron. Hand it over, or we'll burn this temple to the ground. Yan Mei, who's she? Ashen asked in his mind, clutching the strength talisman. Luo Yan, senior enforcer of the Vex Consortium, Yan Mei replied, her tone wary. Body Refinement Realm Layer 7, infamous for her ice sword technique. Your strength talisman can match her strikes, but you gotta hit her dantian to win. Ashen stepped out, the crimson forge blazing in his chest. Luo Yan, he said, his voice booming like thunder. You think you can take the crimson forge? Come try, and see what happens to Vex Consortium dogs. Luo Yan laughed coldly, her sword slashing in an icy arc that froze the air. Ashen activated the strength talisman, his fists igniting with crimson energy 3 times stronger. He leaped, smashing into Luo Yan's sword with a primal flame strike, boosted by the talisman. The explosion rocked the cliff, ice and fire colliding, creating a steamy mist that cloaked the battlefield. Tension choked the air as Shen Rao stepped forward, his robe billowing like moving shadows. 4 Vex Consortium cultivators surrounded him, their eyes burning with killing intent, each at body refinement realm layers 5 to 6. With a swift hand gesture, Shen Rao formed the golden spiderweb formation. Golden runes flared in the air, weaving into a light net that ensnared the legs of 2 nearby cultivators. They screamed, slashing at the net with their swords, but the energy threads tightened, crushing their dantians with a sickening crack. Their bodies crumpled to the ground, dust settling over their lifeless forms. Ashen, focus on Luo Yan. Shen Rao yelled, his voice cutting through the chaos. His hands moved again, forming a complex seal to reinforce the temple's shield. A golden dome formed above them, deflecting small explosions from the 3rd cultivator's ranged attacks. Shen Rao spun, unleashing the golden suppression formation on the 4th cultivator, the air pressure slamming into the enemy's chest, hurling him off the cliff with a heartbreaking crunch of broken ribs. Meanwhile, Ashen faced Luo Yan, a slippery layer 7 foe with a chilling aura. She was faster than expected, like a gliding shadow, her ice sword striking with deadly precision. Ashen ducked sharply, but the blade's tip grazed his left arm, leaving a frozen wound that burned like ice fire. Ah! He groaned, teeth clenched. But the crimson forge in his dantian trembled, absorbing the pain and converting it into crimson energy that surged hot through his meridians, igniting his veins with newfound power. With a furious roar, Ashen slammed the ground, activating the fire-sealing formation. Crimson runes flared in the air, forming a spinning ring of fire that unleashed a massive fireball. The flames streaked toward Luo Yan, forcing her to leap aside, her robe singed at the edges. You think fire can stop me? She sneered, eyes narrowing. She raised her hand, triggering the 1,000 ice blades technique. Hundreds of sharp ice needles materialized in the air, glinting under the moonlight like a white storm ready to kill. The needles shot toward Ashen's chest and face with lethal speed. Use the crimson devouring formation. Yan Mei snapped from afar, her voice a motivator in the chaos. Ashen obeyed, his focus split but his resolve ironclad. He drew crimson runes on the ground with blood from his arm wound, spreading the crimson devouring formation. The ice energy from Luo Yan's needles was sucked into the formation, transforming into a cold stream that mixed with the Crimson Forge's fire in his meridians. His body shook, breath ragged, but the new energy gave him a surge. With a wild roar, he unleashed a second primal flame strike, his fist blazing like a setting sun, crimson fire streaking and slamming into Luo Yan's chest with a deafening boom. The woman staggered back, her feet stumbling on loose rocks, fresh blood trickling from her mouth. Her robe was torn, but her aura still burned, showing the resilience of a high-level cultivator. You're stronger than Marcus said, she hissed, eyes blazing with hate. But you won't survive the clan competition. With a swift move, she pulled an explosive talisman from her sleeve, hurling it toward the temple with deadly accuracy. The talisman glowed green, ready to blast through Shen Rao's shield. Ashen reacted fast, leaping into the air despite his wounds. He triggered the crimson devouring formation again, hands wide to catch the talisman. The small explosion rocked his arms, bones feeling like they'd shatter, skin blistering with severe burns. Ah! He screamed, but he held on, tossing the talisman skyward where it burst in a green flash, painting the night. Dust and smoke cloaked the battlefield. I don't need to survive, Ashen growled, his voice hoarse but burning with rage. I'm gonna crush you all. He clutched the remaining strength talisman from his spatial ring, activating it with his dwindling energy. His fist ignited like a collapsing sun, crimson forge fire filling the air with scorching heat. With one blood-soaked, sweat-drenched leap, he struck Luo Yan's dantian. The blow shook the cliff, shattering her spiritual core with a sound like breaking glass. Blood sprayed from her mouth and caved-in chest, her ribs crushed under the horrific pressure. Luo Yan collapsed, her body limp, breath fading slowly, her spiritual energy vanishing into eerie silence. On the other side, Shen Rao finished his fight. His golden spiderweb formation tightened, pulverizing the third cultivator's dantian with a bone-twisting crunch. The fourth tried to flee, but Shen Rao's golden suppression formation slammed into his back, smashing him to the ground until his dantian shattered. The bodies lay strewn across the cliff, blood pooling into small streams, the air thick with the scent of iron. Shen Rao approached Ashen, his breath ragged like mountain winds, his face a mix of exhaustion and awe. You fight like your mother, he said, eyes gleaming with deep admiration. You're getting stronger, your martial skills are skyrocketing. I didn't expect you to master fire sealing formation and primal flame strike so fast. But the threat's not over. The Vex Consortium will send a new wave of elite cultivators, armed with poisoned talismans from their secret labs. The Zhao clan's waiting in Crimson Gorge City, cooking up nastier traps with a secret alliance with the consortium. Ready or not, the clan competition'll be the ultimate test of your strength and smarts. Ashen stood, his shoulder bleeding, hands trembling, but his eyes burned with unquenchable fire. In the distance, Crimson Gorge City's lights twinkled, calling him like an unavoidable challenge. Ashen returned to the temple, checking on Lily and Xiaoyu, who emerged from hiding with pale but relieved faces. "Brother, you were incredible," Lily cried, hugging him. Xiaoyu nodded, her eyes full of awe. "You're really gonna shake up the clan competition, Brother Ashen." That night, Ashen resumed training, forging 2 more strength talismans under Yan Mei's guidance. Each talisman felt more perfect, its runes more stable, and he sensed the Crimson Forge sinking deeper with his meridians. But as dawn broke, a loud voice echoed from the temple's entrance. A blue-robed messenger stood there, holding an official scroll sealed with Crimson Gorge City's mark. Ashen Vale. The messenger shouted. "You're summoned to register for the clan competition as a rogue cultivator. But beware, the Zhao clans accused you of being a Vex Consortium spy, and they're demanding a qualification trial before the tournament. Fail, and you'll be banished from the city." Ashen clenched his teeth, the strength talisman in his hand trembling. "The Zhao clan wants to play dirty," he muttered. "All right, Zhao Feng, I'll show you who's really nameless." To be continued in Chapter 8, things are getting wilder. Thanks for the likes, comments, and subscribes. Hope this keeps you hooked.